Hey everyone, welcome back to the JumpCut Play YouTube channel. My name is Sam, and today we're talking about the GTA Definitive Edition Trilogy Remasters. Big mouthful. And yeah, the first trailer dropped today on the 20th birthday of Grand Theft Auto 3. Pretty formative game, I'm sure, in the minds of all of you who are watching. I know for me personally, I've got a lot of fond memories playing it when I probably shouldn't have been. And yeah, it's just one of those games that's, I don't want to sound cliche, but it's kind of timeless. It's stuck around, and while GTA 3 isn't nearly as revered as some of its successors like San Andreas and Vice City, it deserves its place in kind of the echelons of Rockstar Games' library on its own merit. And I'm really excited for this remaster trilogy, if I'm honest with you. And what we've got today is kind of what I thought it would be, at least aesthetically anyway. The trilogy remasters, they've got that kind of balance between the cartoonish look of like kind of the front covers and the loading screens and the PS2 era of the games, and it's got kind of the new lighting technology that we've got in more modern iterations. And I think they've managed to strike a really nice balance between the two. Now, I know there's people out there in the GTA fandom that would have preferred something more akin to the HD era, maybe something a bit more like GTA 4 or GTA 5, for example. Maybe even Red Dead 2 levels of quality, but the realistic thing is that something like that just wouldn't happen. It's expensive to do a remaster anyway, let alone port 3 games worth of material onto the Rage engine and redo it and blah blah blah, whereas now they've put it onto Unreal 4, which seems like it's a bit more of a manageable project, and it's been worked on by Grove Street Studios, who I believe used to be called War Drum Studios or something like that. Yeah, it's been worked on by them, published by Rockstar Games. They've been working on it, I think, for at least a couple of years, and I'm excited, you know. 54 smackers for remasters of, you know, over 15-year-old games at this point. Expected, but also, I don't know, I felt like it could have been a bit cheaper. I mean, I know Alan Wake Remastered is one game, but that was $24.99 here in the UK, which is pretty good price for a remastered game, but £54, I know I'm saying it's like a shock or whatever. I'm probably going to buy it anyway, and I know it's just one of those things that's a bit of a contradiction, but for me, revisiting Vice City in particular, which I've noticed that, I don't know if you guys will have noticed as well, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this as well. They've put GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition on Game Pass on November 11th, I think it was, if the date, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then they're putting GTA 3 Definitive Edition Remaster on PS Now on December 7th, I think. Anyway, notice how Vice City is not one of the games going to, you know, Game Pass or whatever. I don't know, I feel like Rockstar know that game has that, I don't want to say cult status, because cult status refers to something that's kind of like unappreciated at the time, but it's got that loyal following behind it that's just as, you know, avid as San Andreas fan base is. And I think that's kind of cool that they recognise that, because Vice City, to me, I know it's got the vibes and the aesthetic and whatnot, but I always felt like that game captured what Grand Theft Auto could be the most out of pretty much all of them, with the exception of GTA 4, which I think does a good job at it as well. I think it does a good job of capturing the city that you're traversing around. It feels breathable, it has an atmosphere, and again, they're kind of helped by the 80s, because the 80s has this very like popular nostalgic element to it that everybody in my kind of generation latches onto, and obviously people playing it that much older than me will get some nostalgia out of it too. And it's got the incredible soundtrack, and it just captured something that I don't think the series hasn't quite figured out how to do again since. And I know the GTA series is it's satirical and it's a jab at all these different things. Vice City just did something that a little bit different that I just don't think the other games have captured. Even San Andreas, which is, you know, absolute phenomenon in the series for what it did at the time, and how it literally just came 2 years after Vice City and pushed the franchise forward in bigger ways with its like kind of hybrid RPG elements. Vice City to me it's just always had that little something that I just can't quite explain, and I can't wait to revisit it, especially from what we've seen in this trailer. I'm digging the way these characters look in this remaster. I've seen some people comparing it to like a Fortnite character, and I see the comparison, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like I say, it's a good blend of the older era and now. I like how it looks, and it's a weird thing. It's a weird balance to get. I don't think you're going to please either end of the fandom. I think for what they've got, they've managed to toe the line personally. Thanks, PS notification going off in the background, ruining my audio. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Do you like the aesthetic of this Grand Theft Auto remaster? If you do, let me know down in the comments. And which game are you looking forward to revisit? I am curious to see how this new control scheme implementation works, because it said that they're doing like a GTA 5 inspired control scheme, and it's going to have like the weapon wheels and radio wheels and stuff to navigate and make it a bit easier, and you can do GPS marking now on the map so it tells you where to go. I'm curious how that will work in these games, because obviously they weren't designed like that with those kind of things in mind. So yeah, I hope. I mean, it can't be a bad thing, can it? Because GTA 3's aiming, and that era of the GTA series, the aiming has not aged well playing them now. Even like when I like to revisit them on the PS4 kind of backwards compatibility ports, the aiming does not hold up. So I think if they're having that kind of more free aim feel to it, it could work out really well for it. And I'm curious to see how the weapons work as well. Like, are they going to return to the original weapons that you would get with the weapon cheat, or is there going to be new stuff as well added in? And will you be able to swim in the other game? Because you couldn't swim in Vice City or GTA 3. I'm curious to see whether those features get implemented across the entire trilogy, or whether they'll hold off in certain aspects to kind of retain the feel of those games as they were. It's an odd one, because remasters, when I think about it's like you've got to tread that line between kind of reinvigorating the franchise and preserving, obviously, what you loved about it. And this is an interesting case where they're completely revamping the games in feel, but aesthetically they're trying to retain the older tone. So that, like I said, I've said it a lot in this video already, they're trying to weave that line between what works, and I can't wait to see what they do. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And we'll be back again soon with another video. I think we're going to discuss the trailer for the Uncharted movie. I don't know whether I'll be appearing, but I know my boy Aaron will be. So stick around for that. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already, and consider becoming a patron if you like the stuff that we do on this channel. It makes videos like this and many others possible, and commissioning writers over on JumpCut Play. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.